You pack rules, we go set the new pace. Longest carbon chain, no time for disgrace.
So let's begin properly with the nomenclature of organic compounds. So first of all, we discuss alkanes. Yes, remember alkanes are characterized by single bonds between carbons. Yeah, and the suffix of alkanes is ANE. Now looking at this first structure we have here, the longest carbon chain is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means that the prefix, yes, the prefix of this compound will be pent, owing to the number of carbons we have here. Pent, 5. Yes, so we can call this pentane, since there is no substituent or any other functional group attached to it. Now let's consider the second compound. Now to name this compound, we need to identify the longest carbon chain. So that you count through this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you go through this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you go like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you go through this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whichever way you go counting these or numbering these carbons, you are correct. So to make it easier, I want to go straight. So let's say, for instance, you start numbering here. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, and we have 5. Now, since this is the longest carbon chain, we have hydrogen surrounding the carbons, but then we have a substituent with 2 carbons, and this substituent is C2, that is 2 carbons, C2H5, and that is ethyl. Yes, that is what? Ethyl belongs to the alkyl group. So this is the substituent attached to this longest carbon chain. Now how do we name this? We have known that the longest carbon chain is pent, which means the parent name will be what? The parent name will be, let's call the parent name, that is pentane. Pentane. Now let's identify the position of this substituent, which is the ethyl group. If you look at the carbon in which this ethyl is attached, it is carbon 3, which means the prefix of this compound will be ethyl, positioned on carbon 3. On that note, the name of this compound is 3-ethyl pentane. So this is how to name alkanes. Don't forget I still remain tutor Prince Obajo Daniel Nicole, also known as the Matholic Biologist. Now let's consider the alkenes. Now remember that the alkenes are characterized by double bonds. On that note, the suffix of the alkene's name will be ENE. Note that. Now the first thing you need to do when you come across an alkene compound is you identify the longest carbon chain. Yes, after you must have identified the functional group. Remember, the functional group here is the double bond. So you count or you number the carbons starting from the region that will give the double bond the lowest number possible. Now listen, if you count from here, for example, if you number from here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you getting me now? Which means the double bond is between carbon 3 and carbon 4 if you count from here. But if you count from the left side here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Which means that it is between carbon 1 and carbon 2. So which means that from the left, we give this functional group the lowest number possible. So the best thing to be done is to count from the left side in this case. Now, since we don't have any substituent attached, let us go straight. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me number it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which means that the double bond is between carbon 1 and carbon 2. Now, you are going to give this functional group the lowest number possible. Between 1 and 2, which one is smaller? 1, right? That means the functional group here will be giving carbon 1. On that note, since we have 4 carbons there, that is but. So this compound is named but 1 as a result of giving the functional group carbon 1. Okay, you can also call it 1 butene. You get it? So that is that for the first compound on alkanes. Now look at the second one. Remember, I've said earlier, you number from the side that gives the functional group the lowest number possible. If you number from here, we are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, which means that the double bond is between carbon 3 and carbon 4. If you number from the right side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1, 2, giving this between carbon 1 and carbon 2. I'm very sure that you agree with me that numbering from the right side will be the side that gives the double bond the lowest number possible, right? So let's number. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the next thing we need to do here, since we have identified the longest carbon chain, the longest carbon chain could be 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, as the case may be. But I decided to use the straight chain there to make it easier for us to identify the substituent. Are you with me? So now from this, the parent name is but 1 in, because the double bond is between carbon 1 and carbon 2, so you give it the lowest number possible, which is 1. So that's but 1 in, since we have 4 carbons in the longest carbon chain there. Now looking at the structure still, we have some attachments. We have the bromine and we have the methyl groups. Now if you look at it carefully, the substituent, we have 3, we have 1 methyl on carbon 3, that is 3. We have another methyl on carbon 3, that's 3, 3. Di means 2, so dimethyl. Now looking at the compound still, we have another attachment, which is the substituent, bromine. Bromine is giving bromo. Now since it is found on carbon 4, you call it 4-bromo. So these are the substituents we have in this compound. Now let us now combine them or arrange them to have the complete name. Now for you to arrange them, you need to consider alphabetical order. You arrange the substituent in alphabetical order. Now remember that bromo, B comes before M in the alphabet, right? B comes before M. That means 4-bromo will start this name. Forget about this di. This di is letting us to know the number of methyl we have there. So the name of the substituent is what matters. So since B comes before M, we are going to have 4-bromo. 4-bromo. Remember, you have to put a hyphen between letters and numbers. 4-bromo. 3, then you use comma to separate 2 or more numbers. 3, 3 dimethyl, and the parent name, which is what? but 1 in. So I believe you've understood alkane. Don't forget I still remain tutor Prince Obajiwo Daniel De Nicole, also known as the man for all carried scheme of biologists. Now let's discuss the alkynes. Remember that the alkynes are characterized by triple bonds. That's 3 bonds between 2 carbons. On that note, the suffix will be YNE. Yes. Then I've told you that the functional group determines the end where you start your numbering. Okay, because you have to give the functional group the lowest number possible. So looking at this, we have the functional group here, which means that the best direction or the best end to start the numbering is the right end. Because if we start from this side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means you are telling us that the double bond is between carbon 4 and carbon 5. But if we count from this side or number from this side, we have 1, 2. That means the functional group is found between carbon 1 and carbon 2, which is the lowest number possible, so to say. So let's number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, this is the longest carbon chain. Yes, in this case. You can also decide to number from here, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Since 5 carbons or 5 continuous carbon chain gives us the longest carbon chain there, it means that the parent name will be what? will be pent. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pent. Pent. Now the double bond is between triple bond is between carbon 1 and carbon 2, so you give it carbon 1. That is pent 1. Pent 1 ine. Y-N-E. Pent 1 ine. Now what's the next thing? If you look at the compound, we have some substituents, we have some attachments. Yes, we have a methyl group and we have the chlorine group. Can you see that? Now the substituents, we have the chlorine on carbon 3, so that means we have 3 chloro. Call that 3 chloro. Then the second one is methyl on carbon 4. That will be 4 methyl. Are you with me? Now, since those are the 2 substituents we have, the next thing is to arrange the components of this name to get the complete name. Now, to arrange that, you need to consider arranging the substituents in alphabetical order. C comes before M. On that note, 3 chloro will start the name. So we have 3 chloro hyphen 4 hyphen methyl. Then the parent's name, which is what? Pent 1 ine. So this is 3 chloro 4 methyl pent 1 ine. I believe you understand it. Don't forget I still remain tutor Prince Obaju Daniel De Nicole, also known as the man for Alcoholic biologist.